OMG a bottom team of the league right now. They've just been so inconsistent. They've seemed completely lost in the mid game when it comes to macro, and I just think Rogue Warriors can punish them enough.
And let's see if that's going to happen as we head into the champion select of the first game between OMG and Rogue Warriors. OMG starting off on the blue side here against Rogue Warriors on red.
Wayon came in, so the Karthus ban is coming through, and they have lost confidence in Haro, it seems like. And honestly, to some extent, I can see that, because he has been just as inconsistent as he has been on EDG last split, but I'm not sure Wayon is the answer here, so I'm kind of curious to see how this unfolds. We're going to see the first pick Rek'Sai just to lock that jungle matchup in already.
Well, sometimes you need to roughen up your roster in order to do something, you know, but Wayon might be the new blood that Rogue Warriors need to actually start racking up those sweet wins. As OMG lock in Rek'Sai as their first pick. Remind us that Sejuani is still open, but Rogue Warriors blind to pick into a Renekton.
Yeah, Holder says a Renekton. He had a pretty good matchup overall against 369. He kind of lost it towards the late game, but he's comfortable on that champion, and picking that with Sejuani, that's a pretty good combo to pick up there.
Alright, well, this is going to leave a lot of power picks open up for OMG to collect. Silas is the first one that comes to mind, but obviously Rise getting locked in by Yihan. Might be going for Icon, might be going for Curse. We don't know yet because Icon locked in Severe.
Yeah, both teams going very aggressive towards the team fights already with that Sivir and, of course, the Sejuani on the other side. And Rogue Warriors are shuffling through the supports. I wouldn't be surprised if it is an engaged support and they're just going to ban away all the...
Oh,
that works. That works. Just get some picks. I'm pretty sure that it's going to ban away the Nautilus now, and potentially even the Yuumi.
They don't need to ban a Yuumi. Lux demolishes Yuumi on the lane, so they basically, with this Lux pick, they save themselves from banning out the Yuumi if OMG were thinking about going Sivir Yuumi in the bot lane. They are, however, going to need to ban out some of the more engaging supports, i.e. Nautilus, probably Thresh as well.
I think you're underestimating Sivir Yuumi to some extent, but we'll have to see if this is going to be what is going to end up on the table. Last ban to come through. We're going to see the Xayah ban. I'm pretty sure Rogue Warriors is kind of looking for potentially an Ezreal, a Caitlyn, maybe even... No, I can't think of anything else right now.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a Nico locked in here for Rogue Warriors on the first pick of the second rotation, triple flexing top, mid, and bot lane. Not gonna lie, Nico Lux bot lane is very, very disgusting.
Yeah, that's probably pretty good, but they might just want to keep the last pick for a counter pick in mid, or top for that matter, because the Renekton still has some flex potential to the mid, and there's still some melee threats on the board here.
Yeah, especially considering that you don't know where the Rise is going, but he is a threat to be reckoned. Oh, hello. This kind of shuffles the board a little bit, because both Karma and Lux can go into the bot. Heck, Karma Lux can do a bot lane.
Yeah, OMG doesn't know what's happening, so they just have to pick for comfort at this point and just hope that they can stand up to this.
All right, Louis, hear me out. Frostmancy Karma bot lane with the Lux support.
I'd like that if I didn't see Sivir on the other side, because the spell shield is just way too good against that.
You have one spell shield to a metric hecton of skill shots that can punish you.
I mean, the Braum pickup already is pretty good to help that out, if I'm quite honest.
It's true. It's absolutely true. It is going to mitigate a lot of that potential Pokemon from both the Lux and the Karma, so you kill two birds with one stone. But you have the Asir in the mid lane, so either Lux or Karma being locked into this mid lane are going to have a very, very tough time against the Shurima God.
Alright. Shurima, for Shurima, we do have the Sivir plus the Azir, which sometimes, like, people underestimate that, because on the one hand, sure, Azir wants to kind of stay in the backline, but just being able to move forwards quickly, being able to shift the soldiers forwards and then just move back, is actually such good utility for the Azir to keep kiting, keep doing his stuff.
So the last pick here for Rogue Warriors was Kai'Sa, and you're going to have the Kai'Sa Lux in the bot lane. There's a lot of wave clear in Rogue Warriors, and they're going to be looking to shove the waves consistently against the Sivir and the Braum.
Yeah, Sivir is one of the best shoving bot laners, though, so they might have a hard time. Maybe that's why they picked this much wave clear. They want to get Zhangwuji through the early game on that Kai'Sa and just have him carry in the late game. And honestly, that is the best strategy Rogue Warriors has come up with all season. Zhangwuji is absolutely their best player. And putting Holder on the Renekton as well, they've set up the people that need to be set up on their team.
They've set up the people that need setting up. They've forced Rogue Warriors into, or actually, they forced OMG into the Braum pick. Probably not the most comfortable pick that they would like to have right now. The Yuumi would probably enhance the wave clear so much here for OMG, but the Braum is going to have Sivir very nice and safe in the bot lane as they plow through waves and waves of minions. Obviously, the jungle is going to have a lot of influence in this match. On one hand, you have the Rek'Sai. On the other hand, you have the Sejuani.
Yeah, from what we've seen, Sejuani really likes to gank the Renekton in the top side, try to get Holder ahead and try to make him stomp that matchup into the Ryze, which is somewhat hard because Ryze just has the ranged advantage, and Renekton doesn't really get by much magic resist, so...
I mean, you have the option to go into the Mortys. You have the option of going to the Spirit Visage if you need to as Renekton. As we head into the Summoner's Rift for the first game on this best-of-3 series between OMG on the blue side and Rogue Warriors on the red side. Crowd go wild.
Yeah!
Jayo. Jayo. Damn it, Opal. Regardless. Here we go then. Rogue Warriors stacking up for an invade. This is very, very aggressive and something that OMG seemed to be expecting, actually.
Yeah, they just went top side, put their own wards down. They're prepared. And
they were prepared and actually expecting. Good scouting options from OMG here. Not wanting to engage in a fight. It's very hard to try to contest.
By the way, this
with
is
Wei Yan on the Sejuani.
This is
live actually.
This is our Twitch chat vote, so just go into our Twitch chat and spam the hashtags OMG and RW to influence this vote.
Please don't depress me. I voted OMG, and so should you. It is the correct way to go to counteract the analyst desk, which are very rarely right.
Yeah, they're fake news. They're fake news.
Absolutely. But that being said, we do have the keystones on the board right now. And Arcane Comet on Curse, playing Ryze.
Yeah.
To enhance the poke output against Renekton.
Yeah, especially in this early game, because Renekton is very much an early game champion, and you just want to be able to keep him low, keep him from all-inning you, because that's really the danger. Once he gets some levels, gets some rage, he just dashes in with press the attack, gets so much damage off, and you're just left to run for the hills. You just want him to be low enough that you can kill him if he goes way too aggressive.
Absolutely. Now, there's one point of consistency here on Rogue Warriors team comp some people might frown upon, which is the fact that you don't have that many melee champions on your team to justify the Sejuani to help stack the permafrost. But Renekton procs a lot of that permafrost with his W.
Yeah, honestly, just get any stack from the Sejuani on there and just see them get stunned in no time flat. Sure, you don't have that many lanes to gank with that permafrost in this case.
Yeah.
But the Glacial Prison from level 6 onwards does a really good job to compensate for that. And overall, the lanes have enough gank assists, so you don't really need that. And in the mid game, Sejuani is just pretty much unrivaled.
Yeah, and realistically, if we look at the board from top to bottom, the only lane that would be good for Wei Yan to really interact with would be the top lane on Curse with a very mobile Ryze. But he's going for the bot lane. Kane immediately flashes out. In comes Wei Yan, immediately gets the W on two members of OMG. But that's just going to be cut there as they disengage. Meanwhile, Holder having a very bad time up there.
Yeah, it's not going well. Kane had to blow his flash, and they took a lot of health damage. So Rogue Warriors are in a better position now in that bot side. They really just want to keep up the pressure, keep up the wave clear, and at some point back off for that first item. And that at least is working so far. Holder in the top lane. I'm honestly not sure if you should just switch the Karma top sometime soon.
Is this a replay? It's not a replay. Kane immediately spell shields away the Arctic Assault, but he is one stack away from getting permafrosted under the tower. 2 ganks, no success so far. Only 1 summoner blown. So from OMG's bot lane, or actually this time there was a heal from Hudi as well.
Yeah, but perfect spell shields by Kane so far. He's just been on point with those, always blocking the line binding and being at least relatively safe. And Weian has already spent a lot of time in that bot side. He still has a bit of a clear advantage right now that is going to stop relatively soon. So
good Lord.
He wanted to make those count, and it hasn't really happened.
I don't know if you noticed, but the time Weian has spent in the bot lane, he's lost every single camp in the top side of the map to Yihan. He's been pressuring, he's been starving Weian, completely denying him from even getting close to the top side of the map. As Hwatian gets ganked in the mid lane, immediately flashes out as soon as he sees the Void Queen hop in the mid lane.
Yeah. Actually, isn't Kai'Sa the Void Queen, though?
But now we look.
I guess no answer.
What happened?
I said, isn't Kai'Sa the Void Queen, though?
Yes, she is. That's what I said.
You said Rek'Sai. Whatever. Well, we have 2 queens. It's the Void. It's a progressive place. As soon as she sees
the Void Queen coming into the mid lane, regardless. We do have Weian now trying to vertical as well on Yihan's jungle. He has the Grom there to go for it, but Weian is trying to get a dive at the top lane. Cursil has his flash up, but no longer has a teleport. There's a very nice wave being stacked in favor of Holder with a cannon minion. The dive seems to be great, but he misses the Arctic Assault. Tries to go for Curse, gets a stun into the tower. They swap out aggro, and they get the first blood over the Rogue Warriors.
Oh, that was so risky. Weian level 4 tanking the tower. I was so terrified, but they had the teleport from Hwatian coming in from the back, so there was no way this was gonna go wrong. And that's the kill for Holder. He's back in that lane. Actually, the kill went over to Weian, but at least the assist goes over.
Started off not too well, but immediately well timed by Rogue Warriors. Great aggro swap as well. So OMG now on the back foot. They are going to answer with this Mountain Dragon on the bottom side of the map, which is huge for their objective acquisition.
Yeah, especially because honestly, they don't have the greatest team fighting mid game. They kind of want to run around the map and just take objectives, and that Mountain Drake is going to do them so much good come that time.
That's just a matter of OMG trying to find the picks, trying to find the turret plates as well, and they're trying to force the mid lane. Hwatian still has no flash, and now they know that he has no teleport as well. The Emperor's Divide might be coming in, pulls Hwatian way back. Flash over from the Void Queen on Hwatian. Void Rush still not available, but he gets enough damage that Icon can finish a job, and 1-for-1 on the scoreboard.
Beautiful stuff with the max distance Emperor's Divide, really nicely done, and that's going to do them so much. In that mid lane, that's going to mean some turret plating as well, some pressure in this topside jungle. They have map control going into this, and maybe even more here.
Yihan, what are you doing? What are you thinking? That's a Renekton, and you don't want to dive. That Holder is going in, trying to get some vision on the brush. He finds the Void Queen. He's trying to get into the safety of the tower, but he's not in range. Slice and dice, goes out. In goes the Void Rush. Holder flashes out. Dominus is not available, just a few seconds away, but he's going to be forced to disengage from the skirmish.
Early Rek'Sai, ladies and gentlemen. That's so much damage. And he hasn't even completed his warrior enchant yet. That's what Rek'Sai does. Like, you actually get both an engaged jungler and somewhat of an assassin in the same role in the jungle.
And now, what is going on? What is Rogue Warriors doing in this bottom quadrant of the jungle? They're trying to get the red buff, and they're committing the bot lane to it. Icon is there to defend. This is not a fight that Rogue Warriors want to take because their towers are so far away, but they still managed to steal over the red buff from Yihan.
Yeah, the new Yihan was at the top in the top lane with that gank earlier, so they knew it couldn't be quite around yet, so they just picked up.
Glacial Prison, Kane again on the spot with those spell shields. And look at the emote, the BM coming in from Kane. Oh my god, you're playing so well, man.
Things of beauty.
He's flexing on damn kids.
Crystal being tilted, not playing today. Kane be like, I'm in there. I'm doing it.
I love the emote. It killed me. I'm sorry. Go on.
Sorry, I had a bit of a cough.
Right. So a little bit of an emote galore there and there. Kane didn't even have to pop his flash to get away from that situation. He's had to spell shield the Glacial Prison from Wei Yan. Another mistimed gang from Rogue Warriors. A lot of pressure being applied to the bot lane, but to no avail. Kane is playing so on point.
To be fair, there's a 15 CS lead, or actually a 10 CS lead now that they have picked up the wave. That's decent, but honestly, with how much pressure they put down there, it's just not enough.
It's not enough. There's a lot of time that Rogue Warriors is spending on that bot lane while they're losing the map on the rest of the lanes. Look at the top.
Going against their favor. Honestly, OMG has had the better early game so far, and it's pretty much been down to Wei Yan not getting what he wants.
I guess we're back now on the Twitch stream. Apologies for the little intermission, but I hope you all had a good time while the screen went black. But for those of you that are still watching the Twitch Prime or the Amazon Prime ad, we appreciate your contribution. But OMG is still on the leading form here, 1,000 gold ahead of Rogue Warriors, and still collecting plates from the side lanes.
Yeah, at this point, you just have to think like, let's hope they just don't throw it away, because that's what OMG has been doing quite a lot recently. But Rogue Warriors is not really the team to punish them that much, especially with this team comp. They don't really they have a comp that really needs some map advantage, some vision advantage to set up flanks, to set up engages, and OMG has pretty much deathball composition.
Ihan desperately needs to get away from there through his tunnel to get in a better position, but now Wei Yan seems to be stuck inside the Baron pit. Manages to Arctic Assault his way out, while Ihan takes advantage of this moment to start clearing out the Rift Herald.
Yeah, Wei Yan has no foot in this fight. He just has to retreat and take his rep buff. And that's pretty much a free Rift Herald right now. OMG might get another turret from this, might get some decent plating as well.
Ooh, Holder punishing the OMG lineup, the stack that they did to get the Rift Herald, and he's taken out plates on the bottom side of the map. Still, first blood tower seems to be ways away from being collected. The top lane is the closest tower to perish, and it's favorable to OMG, who are still leading the charge for now at the 12-minute mark. But as we progress towards the mid lane, who do you think is going to spike big, or is going to spike harder from either of these teams?
I'm pretty sure OMG has some decent spikes coming up. Kane is level 6. Icon just finished up the Nash's Tooth. Ihan is on the worry. He's not fallen off yet. The Rek'Sai does fall off towards the late game because the damage just doesn't hold up to the actual damage threats of like a Ryze or a Sivir. But right now he's still in full swing as a somewhat of an assassin even. And meanwhile, Zhuji still needs some time to get his man immune stack to get.
This is bullying Holder on the bottom lane, and now they're fighting for the first blood tower here as they are. Oh, the Glacial Prison goes wide, but look at the final spark coming in from Huang Wei. It's perfectly lined up as they secured the kill on Kane. Finally, Hootie manages to escape with his life intact, but pops both of the summoners as the first blood tower is threatened on the bot lane. OMG. Scuttle away Holder, who is now trying to gather up in the mid lane, but the first blood tower comes down for OMG in the bot lane.
Yeah, they tried their best to get something around the map while they were losing cross map, because they're losing mid lane plating, they're losing the bot lane turret completely, first blood turret going over. Our Rogue Warriors is just trying to get any gold they can right now.
And now with the 14-minute mark being reached, the platings are finally down, so the towers are more fragile. The mid lane tower is just shy of being collapsed in favor of OMG. You just need one good push, but right now they're looking at the dragon, and it's looking really, really juicy.
Yeah, OMG is steamrolling this right now. Look at the vision they have around the blue side jungle
Mhm.
for Rogue Warriors. I'll be honest. Rogue Warriors have to pretty much survive for another 15 minutes, and I just don't see that happening right now.
Not gonna lie, but that light binding was perfect from Hwang.
Yeah.
What a
Actually, I
time to be alive where Lux is meta relevant in competitive play. Am I right?
honestly, Hoodie could have played that better. He went in there with the shield, but didn't walk forward enough that Kane didn't get hit by the light binding. So if he just would have
All right.
stayed a bit further behind, he could have been the sacrificial lamb there and got Kane out.
I don't know if you noticed, but Curse collected 1,000 and something gold out of turret platings on that 40-minute timer. 14-minute timer. Oh,
That's
well, Curse got light binded. Curse got completely demolished as everyone collapses on him. 3 ultimates to secure a kill on Curse, but he is very, very dead.
Yeah, and turret is available. They should be able to pick that one up. Honestly, pretty good play and no response so far from OMG. They do get to push the wave top, but it just it's just a win across the board for Rogue Warriors, and that shouldn't happen when you're ahead this much as OMG.
Well, now you have the push from OMG on the mid lane and on the top lane. Hootie is trying to get a hold of Holder, but right now they're just proxy farming out the waves, zoning out Holder from the tower. They want to secure this objective as safely as they can so that they can back off as soon as they secure it. They get the advantage, they get Holder away, and they get the tower down.
Yeah, easy money. Emphasis
Rogue
on the
Warriors.
money. Oh
Oh no, we've
no!
seen this before. Leave Curse alone. Come on, man. He forced a flash away. The light
Oh,
binding misses, but they're not going to use anything else. They're happy with pulling the flash away from Curse. Now Rogue Warriors look to take. Oh no! Wange, what are you doing? Rogue Warriors wanted to die, but it backfired completely. They can't even take the tower now.
they just don't. They just didn't have any ults left. They did that before. So they waste their time. They don't get the tower. Meanwhile, Icon just picks up the
The ward
mid tower
curse.
flash.
Wei Yan. He's going to start running river down. He's going to be met with Hungay and Zedwuji, but look at the Void Rush coming in. They want to get Wei Yan way down. Teleport comes in, forces the disengage of OMG, and they're continuing to run away bottom lane down.
Yeah, OMG is not in a position yet to 5v5, so they're just going to back off for now. But they pretty much blew everything they needed to blow. They blew, I think, one flash. At least they blew Holder's TP. So
you know
honestly,
what the dangerous part about this was? Rogue Warriors had their ultimates up just then. So if OMG decided to chase after them, they were ready to fight. Even though they were low, they had the Glacial Prism, which is a very important cooldown for them.
how is OMG with Yihan and Kane looking better than OMG with Penguin and Crystal? I'm struggling to see how that works, but Kane's been playing really well, and overall the team has looked a lot more cohesive.
Listen, it's like I said, they went through the grinder on their first few games. They faced RNG, they faced top esports.
That was Rogue Warriors.
Exactly. Wait. No, you're absolutely right. I'm stupid. Never mind. Go on.
OMG actually had a pretty light schedule overall.
They did.
I'm not gonna lie. They had it easy and they still blew it. So I'm happy that Icon now has a team around him that is at least competent at playing the map.
Right. So in the mid lane is where the teams are going to meet now as we transition into the mid game. OMG clearing at the waves. Rogue Warriors looking for the engage. Wei Yan is in position to throw at a very, very good Glacial Prison, but he doesn't find the angle for it.
Yeah, both of these teams pretty much playing a 4-1 split push composition. So it doesn't have to be that Curse and Holder meet, but a lot of the time they will meet on the sideline as they are preparing to now. And Curse is looking a lot better in that matchups right now. He has that.
He's 0-2, but he didn't have an easy lane.
He got like, absolutely demolished by an entire team, twice. So I'll be honest. I'll give him some slack on that. Meanwhile, Holder got a
Understandable.
lot of assistance and is not really ahead. The Seraph's Embrace is doing wonders right now, and that
Ooh, that's an
glacial
Infernal.
shot.
The Glacial Sword probably going to go into the classic Righteous Glory, but the Infernal Dragon is going to be secured by
Yeah.
OMG. Lightbinding is going to get Hootie in the front line as he flashes away from the Glacial Prison. Everyone
Oh,
teleports in. Killer Instinct goes forward, but look at the Glacial Fissure opening up the Summoner's Rift. Rogue Warriors are forced to disengage at the entry of OMG's jungle. They don't want to push through with this. They have the advantage on the mid lane, just need to push the waves.
yeah. Speaking of glacial, OMG playing it cool, just realm warping out of there, picking up
Oh,
the
shut up.
dragon and not losing anything for it.
Oh, they're going to find Wei Yan. He's completely alone. He's trying to scout forward, but they're going to get vision on him. A little bit of an impatient play there from OMG. They could have secured an easy pick as Wei Yan just plows through the brush and gets the smite down on the red buff.
Yeah. Bit of a small objective to commit so many people to, but right now there's not that much on the board. Baron is not going to be relevant for another 5 minutes, pretty much. And the turrets are all just pretty much unexposed right now. So Rogue Warriors just had to do something with all the manpower they had there.
So they decided to go into the bottom lane, secure some entry vision, let's call that, an entry vision onto OMG's jungle. They're prepping the map so that they can secure the tier 2 tower on the bottom lane. It's going to be the farthest tower away from the Baron Nashor and one of the most important ones to secure that objective as well.
Yeah. Neither of these teams really have a lead right now. Like, sure, you could point to the 2K lead of OMG, but the right people on Rogue Warriors have the right items. There's not really a problem. The Holder is the only one who's pretty much lacking an item right now, but he's still doing fine with the Black Cleaver plus Tiamat. He's not going to be irrelevant.
No, the laning phase wasn't kind for Holder. He was constantly pushed up against his tower. Curse, I don't know if you noticed on the little gold graph from the tower platings, Curse secured 1,000 and something gold from the tower platings, while Holder only secured about 300 or something in terms of gold from tower plating. So there is an actual tangible advantage from Curse here compared to Holder. That's not even manifested. That's not manifested exclusively from his CS advantage.
Yeah, and this is why Rogue Warriors is grouping up right now. They don't want the split push matchup of Curse versus Holder. They want to 5-man group up and for some objectives and hopefully come out further ahead than if they would have played the 4-1. Giving Curse all the room right now. And that might come to bite them, though, because Curse just, like, Rice scales so well with items that just leaving him in a side lane, being able to farm everything he wants to, and maybe even get some turrets, he could be a monster come 30 minutes, come 35 minutes. And that's when Rogue Warriors actually wants to win the game.
Well, Rogue Warriors can't really win the game at that point, considering the amount of traction that OMG are starting to gather for themselves. Now, the game has kind of come to a stalemate where neither teams are pushing too far ahead in order to secure objectives because they're respecting. They know that they're in a stalemate. They know that both of these teams can be very explosive if anyone's caught off. Rogue Warriors have been a little bit more aggressive when it comes to penetrate the enemy jungle. OMG have been kind of more conservative, playing with their vision, playing around their territories.
Yeah, they don't really have to take many risks right now. They know the side lanes are in their favor, so they just sit back, keep all their towers, keep pretty much everything, and just wait for the Baron to basically become an objective.
And if you look at the vision control right now, Rogue Warriors have a lot of it centered around the mid lane. If there's a fight going to happen, Rogue Warriors want it to happen on the mid lane. They want to have the ARAM right now. That's where they're directing their resources towards.
Yeah, the saying to MG, hey, don't you want to meet up at mid lane, maybe?
1v1 me? 2v2 me, maybe?
We're making I made the bed. We can,
they did. And
we can have a bit of a dance there.
Yeah, slowly but surely, OMG is starting to circulate towards that mid lane. I wouldn't call it being baited towards it, but they need to. They need to because the Baron Nashor, like you said, 5 minutes in from the 20-minute mark, is going to start to become a tangible threat.
Yeah.
So right now they're fighting for vision.
Yeah. Rogue Warriors want to stall at least a bit longer until Zanguji has his third item, that Nash's Tooth, with that Manimune build. Honestly,
Oh,
I've seen it. I've seen a great revival of Kai'Sa, and I'm really happy that this is a thing now
are you?
that Kaisas do. Yeah, uh,
I don't know if I am.
this is
AP
pretty much.
Kai'Sa with a little bit of a
Yeah,
Muramana.
yeah. It has been a thing for like 2 weeks now, and
Mm-hmm.
it's been looking really nice overall. We have kind of the similar damage that AP Kai'Sa used to do. We have all the intangible benefits, healing and stuff like that from the AP build. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so this is going to be Nasher into potentially Rabadons or something. I've even seen some Kaisers
Oh my.
pick up an Oblivion Orb after that. So
Ah,
it's
that'd
very
be interesting.
it's very AP heavy.
I can tell. So, and but that kind of is a double-edged sword because they're focusing a lot of their physical damage on Holder exclusively, and like we've already discussed, he's not having the best of games as far as their Neckens could go. However, OMG have secured their second Mountain Dragon. So if by any chance Rogue Warriors lose vision on Baron, just for a moment, OMG have enough DPS that they can definitely plow through Baron in just a second's notice.
Yeah, this is pretty much a triple hyper carry setup, with like, or at least triple Gatling gun setup with the Rise, the Azir, and the Sivir, just barreling down consistent damage, not being that reliant on like long cooldowns.
Yeah.
Uh,
If I was OMG, I'd probably assign Curse to a side lane and make him overextend just to bait every single member of Rogue Warriors into that side lane while OMG are securing the Baron. But no, OMG are actually going to be looking for the fight. Curse is a little bit late, and so is Holder. They're going through the bot side jungle, but OMG are cutting corners here. They're going straight for the fight, and they're zoning everyone away from Holder.
And I like that Curse is just standing within his own jungle, trying to not show that he's around. He kind of walked over a vision ward, but he didn't want to. And just kind of say, okay, am I bot? Am I bot or am I not?
He wants to
But
team fight, but he doesn't have the
yeah,
positioning for it. Look at Curse. He's starting off the Baron by himself. He's waiting for the rest of the OMG squad to stack up on him, but he's doing a lot of damage to the Baron by himself. Yihan already on the board as well, clearing out that objective, but they spot him out with the Prey Seeker from Kai'Sa. They're forced to disengage from the Baron, but they need their time to regain their strength. They're still debuffed by the objective.
yeah. Blue trinkets were both down, so they thought maybe we can get something done here, but didn't quite pan out that way, and they're just going to lose some pressure right now because Ihan actually had to back after this.
What is this ARAM? They're just going straight for mid every time. They're starting to stack as 5. Holder and Curse completely abandoned the side lanes. They have, or actually OMG have the priority on the bot lane, so they don't really need to address it. And same goes for the top side of the map. They have a slow push going in for their favor. So OMG can definitely benefit for the ARAM, especially if they find a way to catch out Wei Yan.
Yeah, but now Curse is going bot lane, trying to pick up that turret, just put on even more pressure, because right now they just can't take the Baron that easily. Because the Prey Seeker is always going to give them vision, and they just don't have the tanks to really tank Baron right now.
I mean, Hootie is tanky-ish,
He's a support.
He is support. He's kind of tanky enough to sustain some blows, but ultimately it's going to have to be Ihan on the later stages of the game to really be not even a tank, but a bruiser, at least.
Yeah, let's hope he can do that. Tank Rek'Sai is not a thing right now, so I can see why he's going AD. That's just how Rek'Sai's play, but it's really it's really lacking in terms of tankiness. And honestly, Curse is probably the biggest tank right now on OMG, and
that's a statement.
That's not good. I know.
That's a statement in of its own. Like, I mean, he's got a lot of resistances from the Banshee's Veil and the Righteous Glory, plus a little bit of HP, plus a lot of shields coming in his favor. But yeah, he's definitely going to be bulky. At least it's hard to accept it though. But it's the reality of things.
Yeah, he's not Blissey. He's more like Snorlax right now.
Kind of. I see what you're going with it, but it kind of... Oh, there goes the Glacial Prison. It's
Oh,
popping
goodbye.
up. Rogue Warriors are trying to find Yeehaw, but what is that stopwatch? He stays right in the middle of the fight. He could have gotten away. And another stopwatch from OMG, giving over a double kill to Wuji. What?
Yeah, the stopwatches were okay. They just were dead anyway.
I feel like Yeehan could have gotten away, but I guess he was buying time for his team, and this gives a perfect opening for Rogue Warriors to plow through the Baron Nashor. They don't have any dragons, but they don't need to. There's no possible way that OMG can steal this objective from them.
They're just running. They're not even trying to steal it at all. And yeah, Rogue Warriors just completely got a free pass back into the game.
Well, I mean, they were never
that is
out
kind
of
of
the
what
game.
I expected from the series. Like, oh, one team's winning, then you know something's happening, and the other team's winning, and maybe that's gonna happen again. I don't know.
Well, maybe it's gonna happen again, but now we have a Baron power play with 5 members from Rogue Warriors holding on to that objective for the time being. They're still, however, not leading in terms of gold, but this is how it rolled out. This is how Yeehan got caught off.
Yeah, at least you gotta give it to them.
He was in the clear. He even got healed. What's he doing?
There was Squatyan on the other side of the wall, ready with the light binding. There was Zuji with the Prey Seeker. I'm pretty sure he would have been dead either way.
Ha! Non-believers, be gone. Well, we guess we won't know regardless. OMG kind of flopped on that Baron dance. Rogue Warriors found the right moment, pulled the trigger at the right time, and now Wei Yan might have been caught off there. Amazing damage coming out from Curse, but the towers are going to start collapsing in the face of OMG.
Guess what Wei Yan actually is? A tank.
Ah, yes.
Easy.
But he's not tanky enough to sustain damage from Curse for now.
Well, I mean, he's alive. You know. He's fine. He's fine.
He's tankier than most of the OMG members. Who in the front line?
He gets to
soaking up damage. Look at Curse in the sideline. Look at Curse forcing Flash away from Huatian. But the fight goes off. Down goes the tank we were just mentioning, and Huang might be in trouble, and the rest of Rogue Warriors is completely scattered. You have Wuji and Huatian on one end with Hyungae already on the back end. OMG. They look like they have the Baron because they're running it down mid.
Yeah. Rogue Warriors has to run for the hills right now. They don't have the tank in the front line. They just can't take a fight right now. And OMG is just running it down. They have so much damage actually to go into towers because they have 3 people who build damage stats. So it's just doing so much.
Oh my lord. OMG with the reversal of the Baron power play. Rogue Warriors just needed to have, well, all that OMG needed was to catch Wei Yan off guard. Holder isn't tanky enough to really sustain any damage. No one on Rogue Warriors can really pull a fight without the engage from Wei Yan. And ultimately, OMG take down a tier 2 tower mid.
If the Baron throw doesn't matter, you know, it's Wednesday night LPL.
Okay, well, Wednesday night in the LPL is, and OMG, like you predicted, caught back up on the game 32 minutes in. I guess it's safe to say that the Baron power play was completely stopped on its tracks here.
Yeah, I'm sorry to all the bettors in the audience because honestly, you should have never bet on this game to begin with. There's no way to predict anything that is going to happen. But let's actually try to predict something here because let's look at some of these. Let's look at both of these teams.
All right, I'll throw you a bone. Let me throw you a bone. We're 33 minutes in. It's safe to assume we're already in late game. Who has the best late game composition right now?
It's hard to say because Rogue Warriors pretty much is betting on the Zuji horse. They have 2 supports. They have the how's it called? The Karma in the mid lane with the Ardent Sensor. So if Zuji can get a good angle, he can take out the entirety of OMG pretty much by himself if he gets set up right by his team. The thing is, OMG has 3 late game carries that can absolutely demolish everything that Rogue Warriors throw at them if Zuji doesn't get that position. So I would give it to OMG overall, but there is definitely a possibility that
Wait.
Rogue Warriors pull this out.
Wait, they're going straight for Holder. He still has the Guardian Angel to give him some time, or to give his team some time to really collapse on him. He flashes out. He's trying to buy time. Look at Wei Yan on the side. He's bought so much time for his team to teleport to coming in. Rogue Warriors are going to turn around. They lock in Curse in the front line, and he looks to be more than dead, but no. OMG managed to disengage. You have Wuji on the side, clearing out vision before going in with the Killer Instinct. Holder didn't even pop his Guardian Angel. OMG are forced to back away, and we're at yet another stalemate. Curse on the bush, looking for Watchan.
Watchan is not giving it to him. They're trying to get a pick there, but yeah, Holder is tanky, and they couldn't lock him down. This is and the pulse.
We have a pause no jutsu on the field right now, 35 seconds away from the Elder Dragon.
Yeah. I hope that isn't related at all to, oh, we didn't kill Holder. But
not enough damage.
I'm always worried when we see LPL pauses, because
I know they're very finicky about their pauses, and they usually last between a full game or a full set.
Well, I mean, they usually last like 2 to 3. They usually last 2 to 3 minutes. And then they resume, and then they pause again, and then they resume, and then they pause again, and
well, hopefully they'll be fast on their pauses this time around, as we've just had a very big fight where OMG were unable to take down Holder, and they committed so many resources to that pick. This tells me that Holder is starting to become another tank for the Rogue Warriors' lineup.
Yeah. A player just thinking like, oh, finally, time to spit out my chewing gum.
Well, it's been long enough, 35 minutes or 34 minutes. He's just spit up his gum and put it back in. Disgusting.
I don't know. Anyway, I'll be honest. This game hasn't been good so far. This game has been crazy and it's very unpredictable. None of the teams really setting up correctly.
They're trying. You gotta give them that.
Both of these teams just don't have a macro game plan whatsoever, and it's really coming to bite them. Like just before the Baron went down, like why was Curse mid that much? Why was he not pressuring bot side? He had TP.
He did have TP, but they had side lane advantage. They needed that damage output from Curse, arguably. But they definitely wanted to get the team fight rolling in their favor. They need to get Wei Yan out of the board, and they did so. Tried to go for Baron. They didn't manage to do it. They did shut down the Baron play, however, so they have that going for OMG.
Yeah. And I want to look forward a bit. Like, both of these teams definitely need to address some of their issues. They both have made roster changes recently, which haven't really addressed the problem. And this is kind of the worry I have with them, because they both just haven't been able to establish a style. The coaches don't seem to either be able to set up a style or just don't get through to the players. I'm happy to see that Crystal got benched, not because like I think he's a bad player, but it very much at least suggests that there is authority to bench him, because Crystal is a star player, of course. So you always worry that those types of players just have so much authority that they just can't be benched ever.
Well, I guess it had to happen, am I right? But
yeah.
At the end of the day, realistically, we've been on the stalemate for the past 10-15 minutes. These teams going back and forth. As expected, duking it out, back and forth. You predicted this. They were going to go for the Baron play, and they were going to lose it immediately to the opposing team. Whoever got the Baron first was going to lose it. Rogue Warriors took the Baron on a very, very promising play, but they couldn't coordinate. Like you said, they couldn't coordinate their macro to split and take down objectives. They tried to run it down mid, and they got Wei Yan caught off.
Yeah. and because they didn't have anyone on the sideline at that point, they just had to scatter and just throw away that Baron buff.
And that's a double-edged sword of drafting a team comp or a team fight oriented composition. You have to force these 5v fights. You have to force the mid lane skirmishes. Otherwise, your comp will not flourish. They have tools to split push, but it's not their game plan.
I want to commend Rogue Warriors though, because guess what it is? This was their first Baron in the LPL this season. Congratulations.
Well, it had to come out of some. It had to come out at some point, right?
Well, I mean, we all thought that the Shanghai Dragons would have to win at some point, and well,
all right, let's just drop down a Baron at this point. Let's get Opal to craft a graphic real quick and drop down a banner saying congratulations RW for your first Baron on the LPL Summer split.
Yeah, please.
I guess it's appropriate at this point in time. With OMG, however, mitigating that power play, but they're still looking towards that second Baron. Shouldn't be too long after we resume the pause. They've been pressuring around the map of Rogue Warriors. They've been inserting vision left, right, and center. They've been getting some pressure on the sidelines, but ultimately they're just looking for the fights. And the last time we saw them, they were looking for a fight in the top lane. They had to back off because they couldn't take down Holder.
It's hard to say what is going to happen at this point, because on the one hand, I definitely think from this point onwards, OMG should absolutely close out this game. I just don't trust them.
No, I don't trust them either, especially considering, like, let's revert a little. Let's roll back a little bit. Remember what just happened in the top lane. They can't take down Holder as a 5-man comp. They couldn't take down one little crocodile and make shoots out of him. Holder bought enough time for his team to collapse on him. I mean, he did have stopwatch. They didn't even pop his Guardian Angel for that matter.
Yeah, to be fair, that was to some extent because they just didn't have Sivir around, so they just didn't have the movement speed. That's what is really important about the Sivir. You have these relatively immobile hyper carries in both the Rise that just gets a bit of movement speed sometimes, and the Azir, which gets one dash if he's lucky. Just giving them movement speed to run them down and just be able to sustain their damage is so good. It's just the problem is they haven't really been able to get into a position where they can really abuse that.
They haven't. Because if they want to abuse that, they need to let the fight come to them. They can't go to the fight, or else the fight will just scuttle away. With what just happened to Holder. Immediately just sliced and diced away, flashed away, used every single resource to his tangible reach. We're back! One of the shortest pauses in the history of the LPL, ladies and gentlemen. We're back! OMG! 58k damage, or 58k gold to 57 from Rogue Warriors, and we're back. Holder now in the bot lane.
I didn't even notice until now that OMG has 5 dragons.
They do. 2 of them are mountains, 1 of them's an infernal. OMG have been completely dominating the dragon department, and if they get hold of this Elder Dragon, it'll be very destructive for Rogue Warriors, who have been focusing their efforts mainly on the top half of the Summoner's Rift.
Yeah, honestly, if OMG gets Elder Drake, they just win the game flat out. I just can't see them losing from that point.
All right, so right now we have the Baron Nashor being held down by Rogue Warriors. They're locking down that objective. OMG have priority over the Baron if they don't want to contest the Elder. 15 seconds down for that Baron Nashor to come down, but the Elder isn't coming as fast as they would have liked. So it's going to allow OMG to really close down on this objective. Elder Dragon is resetting. It's going down. Oh, they stole it! OMG stole the Elder Dragon with 5 elemental dragons. This is very, very problematic for Rogue Warriors. They're scattering and they're being demolished one by one. There goes the Guardian Angel. And OMG have a new pair of crocodile shoes, as right now they're running it down mid.
Why would you ever 50-50 that? That's 50% losing the game, 50% maybe we're doing all right. Like, you just absolutely threw this game away at the...
Oh, my God. Coming back strong in the game, scattering away Rogue Warriors. They're just going to take out Wonge for good measure. And they're plowing through the Nexus as they take home game number 1 from Rogue Warriors. Just
this is
like
hurting
that.
my brain.
Just like that.
Did Rogue Warriors think like, oh, there's a pause. I still have a doctor's appointment later. Let's speed this up. There's no reason to do that. There's
At least
absolutely no reason
OMG,
to do that.
it doesn't matter. They needed to take that Elder Dragon away from OMG. One simple mistake cost the Rogue Warriors game number 1, and OMG looking really, really good on that steal, actually. They lost to Baron, but it doesn't matter. They completely shut down the play, and they got the Elder.
Yeah, that's kind of the OMG motto, like, look good for 2 minutes for the highlight reel.
Well,
anyway,
to think it would come down to that.
Yeah. Like, I want to say, oh, OMG, you did so well, but I just can't. Because that's just not the way it's supposed to end.
All right, realistically, neither of these teams did really well, but they did fine enough. I would have to say OMG played their strengths and they played their territory perfectly. Because they were never looking for the skirmishes. They were never looking for the big fights. They were always playing in response to Rogue Warriors. And as soon as they saw an opening, they took it.
Yeah. At least this is better than their LGD series. Let's put it like that.
All right, I'll take it. I'll take that. But we're going to actually take it over to the analysts to break down this 35-minute